reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, family, hello, hello, hello. You caught me in the middle of my dance. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I am your host, Riddick. Did I say that enough? I've only said it 3 times in the first 10 seconds. Happy Thursday to you. Here we are, closing out the Love and Life week, first week of August. Do you believe that? I still can't believe that we're in August. I keep saying it. I just can't believe that the end of the end of 2023 will be here in 3 blinks or 3 clicks of our shoes. I guess it feels like anyway. That's what it feels like. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. As always, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you had a great day, quite honestly. And if you did not, just know that it's all right. It's all right. I think it's cyclical. We all get a turn. But it's okay because you've got the rest of us. You've got your tribe right here. That's what we are. So family, for those of you who might be new to the show, what I like to do as we get started, I like to do a little check-in, a little roll call, if you will, to our family members who are joining us on our socials. Send us a hello. Say, hey there. How you doing? All that good stuff. Let us know you're having a good day. Or if you're not, so that we can send you some extra love and make sure that you receive it. Okay. As a matter of fact, some of our family members are checking in right now. Brother Nasir. Hi there, Brother Nasir. He's sending a good evening to everybody. To me, Miss Kayla J., our guests, peace and blessings. And to enjoy our weekend. Yes, I know, right? Do you have any good plans? Any plans at all for the weekend, Brother Nasir? Tell me. And Danny, hi. D. Lee Shaver Ayers, Danny Ayers, my beloved. He shares, hey, Carol Riddick, my beloved. Hi, Danny. Thank you for checking in and joining us. Thank you so much. Family, to those of you who are simply listening but are not watching, I want you to know that we know that you are out there and your presence and your love are always felt and are greatly appreciated. You hear me? They sure are. To those of you who would like to call and say, hey, I don't mind. That's love. That's called love. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. You can call, say hello, or, Just share with us. Share with us. Oh, Brother Nasir shares that he's going to see Marcus Miller on Saturday. I am so jealous. I love Marcus Miller. Oh, you're going to have a great time. That's going to be a great time. Nico is also checking in with us. Nico shares greetings to everybody. Both of you lovely sisters, Carol and Kayla J. And happy Thursday, tribe. That's right, because it is Thursdays with Dr. Z in our 8 o'clock hour. I know that's right. Joy and peace from the DMV. Thank you so much, Nico, for joining us. Zen is checking in as well. Good evening to the Word family. God bless you all. You know I love it. I love the check-ins. I got to start sharing these check-ins. I got to show everybody the love. So, family, one thing I do want to let you know, I always say to you, love from both me and Miss Kayla J. Miss Kayla J, would you please say hello to our family members and let them know uh, what's going on in our lives today?
Yes. Happy Friday, Junior. Carol, happy
I love
Friday,
that.
Junior. WURD family. We made it yet through another week. And I am sad to inform you that this is my last week with Carol and the evening time slot. I had a blast. I really did. For 3 years, I've been holding it down from 4 to 9 with you guys. And I'm moving to do new things here at the station. So unfortunately, you will not hear me during the weekday anymore. If you want to listen to me and catch up with me, you got to tune in to Sunday Morning Praise with your favorite church girl, Kayla J, on Sundays from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. But I had a blast sitting in this seat with all the various hosts from Sincerely Sarita, Janae, Dunay, Nick, and even you, Miss Carol. We had a good time. And it
We
is time for me to
did.
close this particular chapter here at WURD.
Mm. Miss Kayla J, you will be sorely missed. You truly will. You really will. And thank you so much. I mean, I know I say it every night. Thank you for all that you do and have done with love and life. But I know listen, you're moving on to bigger and better things at the station. And we know, and we want that for you. Okay? We want that. We always want bigger and better. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So, yes, right? Yes. Miss Rosalind is checking in. Hi, Miss Rosalind. Good evening to you. Good evening to you, Queen. She shares a good evening. Nico is sharing all the best, Miss Kayla J. Family, for those of you who are celebrating today, if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy trip around the sun, I think they say. Happy born day, all that good stuff. There's so many things, but happy birthday to you. We just want to send some extra love. And don't think I've forgotten, because lastly, but certainly not least, for those of our family members whose light is shining just a little dimly today, I want you to know that I'm sending you extra love and hugs. You hear me? I'm sending it to each and every one of you because we all need that every now and again. As a matter of fact, I needed it a few minutes ago. I had a little dip, but it's all right. So I'm sending you some extra love and hugs. You hear me? Oh, Brother Nasir shares congratulations to Kayla J. You will be missed. Harry Wims is checking in. Oh, yes, family. As we exhale, I want to get into this conversation with our first guest of this evening. Our first guest is no stranger to the show. When she was on before, we loved her then. We'll love her tonight. She's just a sweetheart. She is a psychotherapist who specializes in individual relationship, marriage, premarital, pre-engagement, and family counseling. Her clinical history includes assisting clients experiencing anxiety, depression, race-based trauma, LGBTQIA plus concerns, self-image concerns, family conflict, and isolation. Family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Mrs. TUERA Holland. Hey there, beautiful. How are you?
Hello, I am great, and I'm so happy to be back. Thank you so much for having me again.
We are so happy to have you. I was the family I was sharing with TUERA. I said, when you were here before, the conversation felt so brief. It just felt so brief that we had to have you back so we could talk more, especially because, well, number one, we enjoyed the conversation, but number two, because of your specialties in so many areas, and we converse about topics under all of those umbrellas all the time. So who better with whom to speak? So have things been well with you?
They have. We are settling
Good.
in to our new area very nicely, and the kids are doing well. They're adjusting
Good.
well.
Good. Good.
No
Good.
complaints. No complaints.
Well, that's what we want. That's what we want. Family, Tuera is here to talk with us tonight about instances when it is necessary for people to leave a relationship. That is going to be very interesting, right? Right, right. Before we do that, Tuera, I do want Miss Kayla to receive all of her flowers and all of this love that she is receiving. Miss Diane Facette shares good evening. Carol and Kayla J. Happy Friday Eve, Kayla. You are moving it around because you are great at what you do. And you are absolutely right, Miss Diane. You are absolutely right. I did share that Brother Nasir said, congratulations, Kayla J. You will be missed. Um, mm, Harry shares, we love you, Kayla, and thank you for your services. You made my evening. I love that. I love that. And Lynn DeShield shares, Kayla, we will miss you, but as long as I still hear you on your gospel show, you are worthy and you got to move on up. So God bless you and congratulations. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Malcolm is joining us. Malcolm White, that is joining us from West Mount Airy. Hey there. Good evening, Malcolm. So, Tuera, because the hour goes by so quickly and I can talk. I want to make sure we talk about the subject matter at hand. When it is necessary for people to leave a relationship. Let me tell you something. I think I have definitely been one of those people who stayed in a relationship once or twice, longer than I should have.
I don't know anyone who hasn't.
Mm, Let me tell you, none of us should, but and I realized, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say you don't know until you know. That's how you
How
learn.
about that? But you know what? I know, I realized that both of the times that I did, I was not there for myself. I was thinking of the other person and how they were going to feel.
Mm.
And that's, no, that's not a good place in which to be. That is not a good place in which to be.
Definitely want to make sure that you are balancing your empathy with also self-care and prioritizing your needs, right? What do we say about empathy without boundaries? It's self-destruction, right? So it's
Ooh.
one thing to care about how another person is going to feel or handle something. It's another thing to prioritize that over your own needs.
How about that? Yeah, that was a hard lesson for me. A very hard lesson for me. But I'm grateful that I know better. Listen, it was a hard lesson, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the lesson because I'm better for it now. I will say that. So let me ask, because when we're in a relationship and we kind of, well, no, I'll make it simple. What would you say are some of the common signs that a relationship is spiraling downward?
I'm going to say a decrease in safety is like number one. And that could be physical safety, emotional safety. Obviously, the first sign that things are going all the way to the left is that you don't feel safe with your partner. Okay. And people say, well, what is emotional safety? Someone who is caring for your heart, right? Who is not saying things just because they know they're going to be hurtful, who's not using words as weapons, a person who is able to empathize with you. That's another sign that the relationship is taking a turn when you feel a loss of empathy, whether that's you feeling a loss of empathy for your partner or vice versa. right?
Mm.
Communication slowing down or stopping altogether. That's also
Yeah.
a sign that things are not going well. Um, you know, even when you have a partner who nags, right? That's still a sign that your partner believes that things can get better, can change. So if that
Mm.
partner who usually the one who is ready to express a concern stops, that's
Mm-hmm.
a bad sign. That might mean that that person is giving up on the relationship. Okay.
Mm.
Infidelity in any form. Okay. So that could be, sexual, or it could be emotional, right? The person who is at work kind of complaining about the partner to the work husband or the work wife or whatever. Yeah, that's also a pretty
Yeah.
bad sign. Whenever you find yourself or your partner triangulating someone else into the relationship, that's a
Mm-hmm.
sign are going south.
So is it ever an instance with with what you just mentioned or shared with us? Are there instances where these things are taking place, but the relationship is not necessarily going south, but there's just
So, yes,
okay.
some people just don't know what healthy relationships look like. Maybe it's never been modeled for them. They've never been in one before. And so some of those behaviors, I wouldn't say the loss of empathy. Loss of empathy is that's a pretty glaring sign that things are going south.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the triangulation, like maybe complaining about your partner to somebody else or to other people. Some people grow up in enmeshed environments and that's normal for them, right? They
Mm-hmm.
may feel very comfortable doing that, and that's a way that they cope with difficult situations because that's how it's been done in their family.
Okay.
So it may not always be done, in a way of malice or, infidelity at the heart of it, but it is a bad sign. Because now your issues are no longer in between you, and you're not dealing with the issue with your partner. Instead, you've kind of incorporated all of these other opinions and people in it. And now you have external influence into what you're doing in your relationship.
Mm. So how do we know, when we're in a relationship and some of these signs show up, how do we know if the relationship is worth staying in or trying to salvage?
Well, one thing is if your partner has the natural motivation to improve themselves and thus improve the relationship,
Okay.
I can work with that, right?
Okay.
Maybe they just need the tools. Okay.
Okay.
We'll figure out some tools, whether it's counseling or whatever that is, right? Um, oh, you gonna say
No,
something?
no, I'm going to save this question. Go go right ahead.
If the partner maybe has been falling short in some areas, but think about ways to improve the relationship without being prompted.
Mm.
That's a
Mm.
good sign, okay? Because it
Okay.
means they're in tune with you, right? And that they do want to make things better, not just to shut you up, but because
Right.
they really desire to be a good partner to you, right? They desire for you to be happy and satisfied in the relationship.
You know.
If you've seen signs of progress, that's
Mhm.
right. And also if the connection is not damaged beyond repair. If the connection's damaged beyond repair and we're still in it, you're actually doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
Doing is telling your partner, okay, I'm willing to move forward. That's why you got back together, but you're holding them in the same space and time. You're holding them in the past. So it's like if something has happened in your relationship and you're just not able to get past it,
Sure.
let that partner go because
Okay.
you can't ask them to stay in that moment with you. You deserve to be with someone where that's not hanging over your head, and they deserve to be with someone where that's not hanging over their head.
Mm. Hmm. So, before, well, actually, I'm going to ask this question and then I'll ask you to answer it when we come back because I'm looking at the time and we're going to go to a break shortly. But I'm curious to know because I was sharing with our family members all of your expertise. Pre-engagement. You do pre-engagement counseling. I did not know that existed. I did not know.
Lots of people don't. And it's a shame because it's really, really, really necessary and helpful.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what does that of what is that comprised?
So I'll explain why it's different from premarital. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Well, so the difference is you're not confined by a timeline. You
Oh,
have
well,
not
then how about that?
the dates. You have not spent thousands of dollars on an engagement ring
How
or
about that?
whatever.
Or millions. You never know. No, I'm just let me take a pause for one moment because we do have to take just a short break. It's time for a break, family. But know that the phone lines are open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. When we come back, Tuera is going to continue to respond, and we're going to go to the phone lines and we're going to check in with our socials. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Founders Day is back, and you won't want to miss the celebration of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD, on Friday, August 18th at the future home of WURD, 3601 Haverford Avenue, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please join us for a block party filled with panel discussions, health screenings, dancing, food, and fun. Check out family-friendly activities, vendors, and the presentation of our third annual Community Impact Awards. You can also stand with WURD Radio. Start or renew your 4WURD membership at the special Founders Day discounted rate of $80, or start a digital membership. That's our 2023 Founders Day celebration, Friday, August 18th at the future home of WURD, 3601 Haverford Avenue, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. WURD's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. Brown ShopRite and Fresh Grocer are hiring cashiers at multiple locations. And Herb Foods are hiring truck drivers, various warehouse shift laborers, and a sales representative. For more information on these jobs and many others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative. Brought to you by WURD Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are talking with our guest, TUERA Holland, tonight, and we're talking about, relationships. We're talking about instances when it's necessary for people to leave a relationship. Before the break, I asked TUERA a question. I asked her, but I want her to answer uninterrupted because I interrupted you to go to commercial. So what I'm going to do before we continue, I'm going to go to our phone lines because we've had a family member waiting to talk with us. And then after that, we'll continue the conversation. Hello there. Are you still waiting by any chance? Hi there, family. Oh, I hear something. Okay.
Ron?
There seems to be. Hello? There seems to be a slight issue. Oh, it's Ron? Ron, are you there? We're having a slight issue. So what we'll do while that issue, oh, there we are.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Ron.
Yes. Carolyn, to you, is not the end. It's just in a time frame that you're in now, but it's the beginning of something new. Something new that's happening in your life. And may you be blessed with the gift of health and strength, that you can continue at the age you are to pilgrim through this life to achieve those things. You're already in WRD database. I'm not saying you're going to be relocated, but you're already in the database, and you will be ever remembered for the people that are still with us, to remember your name. I want to talk about this thing, what we call love. I have quite a few people that like Ryan at the age I am. They tell me all type of stuff. But it's because I know thyself. I know me. And when both parties, the man and the female, and then the man and the female, when they know who they are, then you can say, I respect this and respect that. Accepting things in life is difficult. Everything about each one of y'all, that man and that woman, everything is about you. Dominion is about you. And if you're in a relationship, and I don't know, I'm not making a statement, and that woman or that man start using words, you're done. If you put up with that, that's just the beginning of what's yet going to come. You cannot forgive. I hear people say that. And sometimes you have to read the beginning, tell how the end is going to conclude, because we can't see the intersection. And because I am a lover, and like I said, I'm not bragging. I'm not a flirtatious man. I don't abuse women. I never did that. And what have happened to me in my life, when it comes to these females, I understand their nature and understand their behavior because of their chemistry. Just the other day, I received something. I don't deal with a lot of tangible things for myself, and because what I received for my birthday. Some writing. And when I received it, I kissed the writing. And I'm going to take 2 weeks off and step down from doing a lot of things. I got a couple more things I got to do and be so appreciative. This is caring. The power of words in your relationship is so significant. So I'm going to spend my week, spend about 2 weeks, as I said before, and prepare my this came out of a fast today. And I'm going to use that where I can continue to be a lover, because everything is about you, beloved, and your friend. Both of y'all have to come to the conclusion this thing is not going to work. Sometimes it works, and sometimes a lot of times it don't. Once people start going in a different direction, it's hard to salvage those things. I hear people say that, and I hear you talk about that, man. The Bible talk about love thyself. You're commanded to do that. Then love thy neighbor. You love thyself, and that term we use that just to be nice to people. But you can't achieve nothing in a relationship if you bring them negative in. And that's why I was telling that lady who I told Mr. J wife that said to Mr. J wife, I said, do not put some if you're gonna have meanness in your life. And I said, you have to say the power of words for better. We see what worse does because we can't see the inner sanction. But once we experience that, when you are divine in tune, you're going to read everything. There is no secret. What it's about because who you are and who Ryan is not about who you are in reference to being judgment. Because once you start using words once again, so I hope everybody in their relationships, and sometimes it's just good to go back and to leave in peace. I said this morning, peace must never be still. Peace must be an emotion. You may take peace from that relationship to another relationship, but love thyself. Love thyself. Do not leave and do not be in your relationship and go to bed with anger and all that stuff. No good. But let me say, because my couple, and I thank everyone for being kind to me. I've been truly blessed. It has been kindness not tangible things in life.
Mm-hmm.
Put me a call one time, and I gave it back because of the words. And I say these things to say, and I'm glad that God blessed me to have people that have treated me nice, not with their structure of their body or how they look. The power of words is something else. So thank you,
Thank you, Ron.
for being nice to Ron. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you, thank you, thank you for always sharing love and always spreading love and sharing positivity. Thank you. Family, if you've just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with TUERA HOLLAND. And before the break, I'd asked TUERA about an area of her specialty. TUERA does pre-engagement counseling, and I expressed that I was unfamiliar. I did not know that was something that existed. And she was sharing the difference between premarital counseling and pre-engagement counseling. And she said the biggest, or one of the differences, is time. You don't have time restraints or constraints.
Right. Traditionally, people kind of slide premarital counseling in as like a task on the wedding checklist, right? So it's done in hopes of solidifying the foundation. But the problem with that is sometimes in premarital counseling, really, really glaring differences come out and really significant issues come out. Okay.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
sometimes a few weeks is not enough time to actually work through those issues. Okay. Especially if neither person has been working with the clinician before that, right? If you're both new to the therapeutic space and this is the first time you're unpacking some of the things, a few weeks it just may not cut it. And so what we
Mm.
have is someone kind of rushing a process that really should be done with intention and patience, okay? Um, just so that they can fulfill what they already kind of put out there to the world, which is that we're getting married, okay?
Mm.
So let's say you get into premarital counseling and something really, really major comes up. You're less likely to take it seriously, to really acknowledge how major it is because you want to make it down the aisle. You don't want to deal with, feelings of embarrassment, um,
Mhm.
letting others down, wasting money that you probably put down on deposits on the venue, on all the things, right? Other people
Mm.
may have put money down on things. And so now you've got all this weight on your shoulders to go through with this, but you might have just uncovered something really, really serious.
Right.
Okay. So that's why I recommend pre-engagement counseling. The stakes are just so much lower. So they allow you to really focus on what you're there for.
Hmm. That's really interesting. I do have a follow-up question to that, but before I ask my question, I want to go to our socials for just a moment because there's so much love on here. And Ron, I hope that you are still listening right now and that you've not begun your break just yet from WURD because you need to hear all of this love. Miss Diane Facette shares, Ron, I heard that you're a very handsome man. Some of the callers have met you in person. And she shares, it's hard to fend off all those ladies being a lover, always bringing some love, Ron. Oh my goodness, I love that. And Harry shares, Ron needs a show on Word. Ron has a show on Word. He does because we love Ron here. And he's always welcome to comment anytime he wishes. Miss Lily is sharing congrats to Kayla J. She's sharing congratulations on your new endeavors, Kayla J. I keep my dial on 900 a.m. every Sunday morning. I love that, love that, love that. Oh my goodness. It's just I'm forgetting one. Oh, wow, Kayla, you will be missed. I followed you since Sincerely Sarita's show. Malcolm White shares that. I love all of this love. I love it. I love it. And Miss Kayla J, I hope you are feeling all of this love because you deserve it and you need it. You need it and you deserve it. Going back to the question that I had just asked to her and which was answered, Miss Diane shares that she agrees. She wishes that she knew about that pre-engagement counseling with her first marriage. I'm like listening to you talk about it. I wish I had knew it existed. I wish I had known. I wish I had knew. I wish I had known that it existed. I really, really do. Because listening to you break it down, I'm saying that makes so much sense. Nico says, wow, pre-engagement counseling makes so much sense. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So when would a couple decide to have pre-engagement counseling? Do you is that after you've had the conversation that, okay, this is it, we're together, we're going to make the
Yeah,
long haul? And
yeah. If talks of marriage are coming up, you're getting asked about ring types and shapes and sizes and things like that, it may be time to suggest some pre-engagement counseling, or even before that. There's no right or wrong time. I mean, obviously you want it before the engagement, before you put any money into it, because that's one of the things that will kind of skew what you're getting out of the counseling, if you've
Sure,
already
sure.
invested in an outcome that you haven't received yet.
I do love that. You see me sitting here, I'm going through a whole process right now thinking, well, why didn't I know about that? Why didn't I know? I wish I had. So family, we began the conversation tonight talking about instances when it is necessary for us to leave a relationship. And I shared that I know I can share with you that there have been two instances that I recall clearly where I stayed in the relationship because I was thinking of the other person and how they would be affected or would feel if I left, when I left. So I'm curious to know from your experiences, TUERA, what are some reasons that people have for staying in relationships that they know probably won't work out?
So if I had to use an umbrella term, I would say relational trauma. Okay. Which is just the trauma that shows up in your interactions with other human beings. Okay. And it usually stems from childhood interactions with caregivers and influential people in your early life. Okay. So that's where you see your mother wounds, father wounds, things like that, abandonment wounds, um, rejection sensitivity, issues with the relationship with the self. Like all of those things come from relationship or relational trauma. And those are the things that impact the way that we move in our relationships as adults. So let's say that you have a severe abandonment wound, right? That is the kind of thing that will have you holding on to somebody that you don't even want, just because you sit in the sensation of them leaving. You don't even want them. They're not even like a great partner, but you're trying to hold it together because if they leave, you're going to be transported back to that little child feeling abandoned by your caregiver, right? And that sensation is intolerable to you. So you're just holding on, holding on. And they're not even great.
Family, we can all relate. Well, listen to me. Don't let me pull you into this. Family, can you relate? Let me ask the question. Can you relate to that? Can you identify with that? I know some family members can. I certainly can. I'm listening to you say, I'm listening to you share this, and I'm saying to myself, why is she telling my business? But I mean, it's truth. There is truth in that. It makes so much sense. So how can staying in these relationships affect our like mental state?
Oof. So whenever there's a disconnect between what you are doing and what you are actually feeling in the subconscious, that tends to lead to depression. So you'll see depressive symptoms, lots of anxiety, because you're not living in alignment with what is healthy for you, right? And so you're constantly kind of waiting for all of this to kind of blow up because you know that's where it's headed. You can also develop even more relationship trauma. Okay. Trust issues, self-esteem issues are going to be exacerbated because the way that we're treated is how we learn who we are and our sense of worth. So if we allow someone, and I'm just assuming that we're with someone who may not be treating us the best, right? And that's why we should probably leave this relationship. So if we stay in a relationship where we're not being treated very well, that treatment is seeping into the subconscious and telling us who we are. That's why people tend to jump from one relationship to the next, and they're the same person with a different face. You get very used to that treatment, and it becomes it becomes almost like a safe space for you because you know what to expect.
That mistreatment, quite honestly, because that's mistreatment. Family, it's time for us to take a break, but stay with us, okay? And know that the phone lines are open as well as our comment section on our socials. We're inviting you to join the conversation. Stay with us because we will be right back.
AM radio provides always-on news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports. It also delivers vital emergency information when your community needs it most. A new bill in Congress would ensure AM radio stays in your car because when cell and internet services are down, this free emergency service is critical. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to support the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90 or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for? Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditout.together.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, progressive Black Talk Media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. And so we're talking with TUERA HOLLAND, and we've been talking about a few things as it pertains to relationships, when to leave these relationships that we shouldn't be in and all of that good stuff. So I was thinking about the response you gave to the question that was just asked just before the break. So how do we break that cycle? Those of us who are in the relationship and we're in this relationship because of we have abandonment issues.
Okay.
And we're in these relationships. How do we break that cycle?
Well, the first step is acknowledging, okay, this is where I'm going wrong. This is where things are getting a little hazy. Okay. So when you realize that you're acting in a way that is going against your best interest, that's actually a good thing. That's a sign of progress because now you're realizing I have some control over this. These things are not just happening to me. I am not just having bad luck, right? It's not just, you're just out of control and no one loves you. It's not that. It is not that you are deserving of mistreatment. It's not that you're not worth a great partner who takes care of your heart. It is that your inner child is essentially in
Mhm.
the driver's seat, and your inner child is looking for something familiar that resembles your childhood dysfunction. Okay. So
Wow.
usually that's what's happening. Okay. Um,
Mm.
when that happens, red flags tend to look like green flags. And
Mm.
sometimes they don't look like flags at all. Right. And you look up and you're in this relationship with someone who might be a monster. And you're like, how in the world did I end up here? Chances are there
Mm.
were some flags, but they probably just didn't look red because they were familiar. And things that are familiar translate to safety for us in the subconscious. Okay.
Mm.
So if you're looking to break that cycle, okay, the first thing that you want to focus on is noticing when you find yourself doing the same, kind of gravitating to the same kind of person, and ask
Mhm.
yourself, am I gravitating to this person because they seem like a good partner? Do they seem like they would be treat me well? Is this a person of integrity? Or am I gravitating to them because they're familiar? They feel familiar because I feel like I can predict what is going to happen. Has this person demonstrated that they are different from people in the past who have hurt me and broken me down? Right? If the
Sure.
answer is no, you're back in your cycle. Okay.
So is it common for those of us who have become so comfortable or complacent, living with that feeling of abandonment,
Mhm.
that we don't recognize or are not equally or are not easily willing to accept when someone comes into our life who is the opposite of that, someone who is good or is treating us well, or do we?
Yes. And
Oh.
there's a very, very technical reason why. So a lot of times dysfunctional relationships include some turmoil, right?
Mhm.
Some like up and down, you fight a lot, you're at each other's throats, and then you're all making up and you're passionate and you're honeymooning, and then you're fighting again, and then you're making up. And that high and low is actually addictive. So your
Mhm.
nervous system can become addicted to those highs and lows, right? So when you decide you are going to do things differently and now you are going to, date someone who represents calm, right?
Mhm.
And predictability, right? You might feel bored and you might say,
Mm.
"Oh, there's no spark there. I just don't feel it. There's no chemistry." It's not that there's no chemistry. It's that you're not on that roller coaster that your nervous system is used to, and so you think
Right.
that this isn't a good fit.
Oh my
So
goodness. So
you gotta teach your nervous system, right, that you don't need that up and down.
oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. Family, family. I don't know about you, but I'm processing all of this, and I have like little sparks going off over here. Um, so what are you thinking? How are you feeling? Family, we're talking with TUERA HOLLAND, and we're talking about these relationships, leaving these relationships that we shouldn't be in. We're talking about those instances where we know, in your spirit, because when your spirit is saying that you know you shouldn't be here. This is not for you. And this is not what is meant for you. But we stay there. We stay there. So we're talking about those instances. Nico shares, I'm relating to all of this. You and me both, Nico. Okay. You and me both. I do want to share with our family members who've been sharing love with Miss Kayla J, just mixing apples with oranges for a moment. And Miss Kayla J did post a comment, and she shares, "Thank you, family. I've enjoyed my time here in the evenings with all of you, but this just means that we're going to have even more fun on Sunday mornings." That's all it means. That's all it means. That's all it means. So, Eric is sharing, "Hey, Carol and Miss Holland. Eric here. The comments and information make so much sense. Healing and dealing. It isn't always easy, but a good conversation with God always helps. Now, that is the truth. That right there is the truth. I just want to share that Brother Raphael is joining us as well. Hey there, Raphael. Good to have you with us. And Nilsa's here too. Hi, Nilsa. Hey, beautiful. Miss Diane is sharing. She shares, I 100% agree. My husband is so laid back and I'm more high strung. He teaches by his behavior and maturity to me, which helps with my maturity. You are so right on. So right on. I love that. I love that. And it was interesting to me when you said, getting used to dealing with trauma and abandonment and applying that in your relationships. When you meet someone who's the opposite of what you've been experiencing, you may be bored. I have a friend, one of my one of my good cookie girlfriends. That happened. That did happen with her. That sure did happen with her. She said, he's so boring. He's so boring. But she couldn't stay away from him. She couldn't. But I like him though. I said, huh. Okay.
Now, I make a quick distinction.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make a quick distinction, okay?
Okay.
Because what I don't want people to take away from this is that you have to date someone that you're not genuinely interested in just because they seem functional and like a kind individual. You don't.
No.
Okay?
No.
Like, we're not gonna play that game like, oh, it's a nice guy. Give him a shot. No, we deserve to be excited about the people that we date and allow into that space in our lives. We don't owe anyone, that kind of relationship just because they are a kind individual. So I just want to put that out. Sometimes.
No. You're so, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because as I was sharing with my friend, with my BFF, she couldn't stay away from him because there was something else there. They did click.
Right.
They're good. They are good, but they did click. But he was so different at first from what she was used to experiencing, and she said he is so boring. But now she loves and loves all of his boring. Okay.
Yeah, boring is great.
Isn't it? I am not mad at boring. There's nothing wrong with boring. I'm boring. But yeah, I love it. I love it. But it's always interesting to have these conversations. And I say it all the time. Every time we talk about something, even though you may know something in your spirit, or you may feel it when you speak about it, or when you hear someone else say it out loud, you tend to find other things about that topic that you say, you know what, I knew that, or it comes back to you in a different way. It always. But I love it. So, TUERA, here we are. We're coming on the end of the hour, and again, as I say, the hour ends so quickly. But I do want to say thank you for coming back, number one, and I hope you'll come back again to talk with us. Some more.
I would love to, and thank you so much for having me back on the show. This is always such a wonderful time. You make me feel so at home.
Oh, you are at home. What? This is your tribe. You are at home. That's right, family. Because we have just a few moments left, are there any comments or questions that you would like to ask TUERA before she has to leave us? Anything? For those of you who are just joining us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick. And we are talking with TUERA Holland. We've been talking about instances when it's necessary for us to leave a relationship. We've talked about some other things as well, because I found out about pre-engagement counseling. I had no idea it existed. Miss Lily shares, this is deep. When your nervous system is accustomed to volatility in a relationship, an individual cannot bond with a calm and tranquil partner. I imagine there's some challenges in doing so. I imagine that. Miss Julie shares that pre-engagement is good. When my beloved husband proposed, I saw so much coming our way and waited many, many years to say yes. I actually proposed to him. My words to him for all the years we've been together. We both need to be surrounded with people who believe in our love and believed in us. That was wonderful. The beautiful cards received and heartfelt congratulations ignited our spiritual oneness, committed heart and soul. I love that. I love that. And Nico just wants to say thank you because this conversation has been so rich. So thank you so much. Thank you. Family, listen, it's time for us to take just a short break, but you do know today is Thursday, and you know Thursday means that Dr. Z will be with us in the 8 o'clock hour, and we have some good things to talk about with Dr. Z as well. So know that our phone lines are open because you can call us. You can still call us to say hi, even if you want to do so. And you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. Or you can dial us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. You can also comment on our socials. But whatever you do, stay with us because we will be right back.
Tune in this Friday at 9:20 a.m. for Tech Life Steph's digital tip of the week. Listen throughout the week for her digital updates. Brought to you by Comcast.
Summer is here, and so is WURD's annual Summer of Freedom Tour. WURD Radio is proud to partner with Philadelphia Parks and Recreation and the Center for Families and Relationships for a summer of fun, freedom, and healthy communities. Join us in Germantown, Overbrook, North Philly, and Southwest Philly, where Tanya Pendleton will broadcast live each Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Discover all that our recreation centers have to offer. Meet with mental health specialists who will provide support to children impacted by gun violence. Join WURD's community partners for hands-on outdoor activities and hear live performances from local artists. Win tickets and prizes and stand with WURD by joining or renewing your 4WURD membership on site. Be sure to join us on August 10th at 8th and Diamond Playground in North Philadelphia, 800 Diamond Street. Summer of Freedom is brought to you by Comcast, Nico, Keystone First, and the Energy Co-op.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, progressive Black Talk Media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years. We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We just had an hour of conversation with TUERA HOLLAND talking about relationships, talking about all that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. But, you know, today is Thursday. That's with a Z. Thank you, Nico. Thank you for that. Today is Thursday with Dr. Z. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, Dr. Z is the executive director for Sunrise Community of Pennsylvania. She's a lifelong student of human behavior and social interaction with well over 15 years of experience as an accomplished trainer, professional speaker, and supervisor in the field of human services. So given that August is National Wellness Month. But you didn't know that. Dr. Z is here to talk with us tonight about various stress relief tactics, and she'll discuss what it really means to mentally take care of yourself and why it's so important. I need to have this conversation. Family, I invite you to the conversation with Dr. ZENIDA Driver. Hey there, Dr. Z.
Hello. How are you?
I will not complain. You hear me? I will not do it. Happy to have you here.
Yes.
Yes, to talk about taking care of ourselves. I've been on this journey, a wellness journey. You all hear me talk about it. I don't know that I'm doing so well at it. I fall off every now and again. So it's I'm happy to have you here tonight to talk with all of us about our wellness journey. How are things with you? I don't know if I asked that. How are things with you?
Everything is well. This is a great conversation, self-care today, right? As I struggle with a migraine myself.
Oh my God. I had a headache today. I don't typically get headaches. So I don't know. Something was going on today. So I didn't have a migraine, and I'm sorry to hear that you had a migraine. I'm sorry. I hear they can be debilitating at times.
They can. If you don't catch it in time, if you don't pay attention to your body, which we're going to talk about today, it can.
I didn't know you could. Oh, see that? I know so little about migraines that I did not know that you could, it's progressive. Like, I guess you could catch it in the beginning of it, or I did not know that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. So, all right, Dr. Z, what do you have for us about self-care?
So self-care is so important. And one of the things I think that, just to start it off, a lot of times when we think about self-care, it's synonymous with being selfish. People feel like if I implement self-care, if I step away, I am being selfish. But self-care is so pivotal to our everyday health, right? Because it affects us mentally, emotionally, physically. And so the idea is, how do I implement a healthy regimen within my day-to-day life to keep me from feeling overwhelmed, even with the small tasks? A lot of times people just go. I know, Carol, you're probably like that as well, right? We just go. We're so used to going, but never taking a moment to pause, to reflect, to just do what we need to do to help ourselves feel better and to rejuvenate ourselves so that we can keep doing our day-to-day tasks.
It's so I'm that person that is so used to doing for everybody. I've gotten, I should say had gotten so used to doing for everybody else. I just started taking time for myself, just started doing this, but that's not easy. It's that's not easy to do, because in my mind there's so much to be done, and somebody needs my help, and somebody needs help. So that's not easy.
It's not. And what we have to realize is all of the people that need our help, they need us to be okay, because we can't really take care of others if we first don't take care of ourselves. And so many times we don't take care of ourselves because if you're a natural helper, right? We always talk about that helper complex. You're naturally going to jump in and do all the things to make sure everyone is okay without being attuned to your own body, without being attuned to yourself. And so one of the things I always tell people is, the same way we get up in the morning and we are reminded that we have to brush our teeth, we have to get showered, we have to get dressed. It has to become religious for us. I have to implement small, meaningful moments for myself day to day so that I can rejuvenate and be able to go out the next day or within the next hour or whenever to implement the normal tasks that's a part of our day-to-day life.
So when we talk about self-care, and we all have stress, we all on some level, how do we manage that? What are some good strategies to manage our stress levels?
First of all, we got to ask ourselves, what are we eating? Right? Are we eating healthy? Ding, ding, ding. Right? Because it's, when we think about it, when you have that go mentality, sometimes what happens? We pick up fast food, we eat whatever we can find. Whereas, are we eating a healthy diet? Are we drinking enough water? Are we putting the healthy nutrients in our body that gives us that natural energy to keep going, right? So what is my diet looking like? Am I exercising? Ding, 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 ding. Most times, am I stepping on your toes, Carol?
No, I'm doing better. I'm doing so much better. I'm walking in the mornings. I'm doing that. Now the cookies. Now wait. Now let's slow down. Go fast. I didn't
Here and there, we
walk
gotta
away from
treat
the cookies.
ourselves, right? We just can't
Yes.
overindulge in it,
Yes.
right?
Well,
It's okay to have a good treat here and there. If that's your self-care, that's good too.
That's my
So are we exercising? Are we eating healthy? The other part, are we getting plenty of sleep? Sometimes, if we think about it, when we're stressed out or overwhelmed, what happens? We don't sleep because even when it's time
Yeah.
to go to bed at night, what are we doing? We're still thinking about all of the tasks that either need to be done the next day or what we didn't finish within the day or just reflecting on the day. We have to be able to say, phones off, lights out. I need to get some sleep. I need to
I'm
rest.
that person. I don't shut down well. I'm the person that I cannot sleep if something is nagging at me. I don't sleep well, or I will wake up and then the cycle will start again. I want to share today. I read something. I don't even know where I saw it, but it was in passing somewhere, and it read that desserts reads stressed backwards. And I paused for a second. I was like, oh, it sure does.
Yes,
sure
because when we
does.
have so many desserts, now we're stressed out because we can't fit in our clothes. We're feeling overwhelmed.
That
Yes.
part. But I thought but it gave me a little chuckle when I read it. I said, oh, ouch. It kind of hurt a little bit. But it did give me a little chuckle. But you're so right about that. I'm thinking about I am doing better. I will say this. I am doing better with exercising because I've been doing that. I wasn't exercising. I had stopped all completely at one point, but now I'm walking, so I feel good about that. And we talk with, Dylan on Tuesdays, so we have our checkup, our Tuesday tune-up. So I'm doing, and you'll be happy to know I just had some little cashews as a snack.
Good.
But so I'm doing better in that regard too. But it was a road on a it's been a road, I should say that, because for the past few years, for me, and I'm just sharing, family, I share with you all, I'm very transparent, but it took a while. So my father passed in 2014, my mother passed in 2018, my first child passed in between 2016. So I was dealing with so much loss and detachment that I was all over the place. I did just, so, and I know you're saying, but this is 2023. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, grief has no, so it took until like the more recent past for me to start caring for me, to start I had never turned my phone off or even put it on do not disturb. That did not happen until the more recent past.
Yes, that is such a great intervention that many people struggle to do, right?
Oh my
At
goodness.
night, D&D can be your best friend. Or if we're courageous enough, putting our phone in an entirely different room so that we're not tempted to roll over, to grab our phone, to check our socials, to respond back to text messages, because we're naturally inclined to do that because that's what we're accustomed to doing. So do I create a safe space at night for me just to relax, to be still? Am I allowing myself to take a break? Because many of us don't take breaks. We don't take breaks.
We don't. No, we don't.
We don't.
I didn't know how to take a break. I really didn't. So I was the hamster on the wheel for so long that it felt wrong to me if I sat down and stared at a wall. If I if I took a nap, or I was always raised to believe, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. My mother would say that all the time. So you had to always be doing something. But the one thing that wasn't included in that was self-care. And I had to accept that self-care is a something.
It is
for me, it is a something. It is something, and it's a necessary something. That's what it is. Yep. I want to take a moment to go to our socials because our family members are sharing with us. They're joining the conversation, and I don't want you to be left out. Melissa Gamble is joining us. She shares, good evening, everyone. Pastor Daniel Black is with us, and he's sharing that he will be praying for healing for your headache. I love that. He says, Amen. Self-care is vitally important to each of us so that we can function in our daily activities. Yes, Pastor. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm learning. I will say that because I'm still learning. Nico shares soaking your feet in hot water for 15 to 20 minutes while holding on an ice pack to your head. Oh, holding an ice pack to your head. It can help with a headache.
Thank you, Nico. We'll try that as soon as we're finished today.
You aren't kidding. I'm ready. I'm going to put some eucalyptus in there, a little lavender too, to make it nicer. Melissa shares that should have read. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Oh, I think good. Look at that. See, my mind knew. I knew, Melissa. My spirit I felt it. So, it is so now that I'm benefiting from self-care. I see how much I was missing out. I mean, like I said, I still have a lot to learn, but go right ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. No. And I was agreeing with you, like knowing that it has to be a part of our everyday life is not something that we're often taught. We are taught, keep going. It's things have to get done. And if you don't do it, it won't get done. But the reality is that stress is not healthy, right? Stress can kill. Stress causes so many things within our body, within our central nervous system. And so it becomes so pivotal that the same way we remember to get up and hopefully brush our teeth and comb our hair and get dressed is the same way we remember to implement self-care. Another thing that people struggle with when we talk about self-care, well, a few other things, is one, learning to say no. Learning to say, I can't do this right now.
Oh my goodness.
Learning to say, my plate is already full and I can't add another thing to it. You all right over there, Carol?
You're telling all my business right now, okay? My aunt used to say that. She used to say, you don't know how to say no. You just don't know how to say no. And she was right. I did not. But and as a result, here I go sharing again. I will never forget this. I was having this pain in my chest. I was having a pain in my chest and my breath was feeling a little labored. And this one I went to the emergency room. They had me there all night. They did every test imaginable. I felt so, I mean, it was the most debilitating but scary feeling ever as I lay in this cold room with this tissue paper robe while they had me waiting. We're going to do this test. We're going to do another. We're going to do this. And then they came back and they said they saw something. They said they saw a little spot. And then the doctor said to me after, because I kept going in for testing, he said, Miss Riddick, this is stress. All of this, he said, there is nothing physically wrong with you. It was all stress. And of course, I was more stressed from going through all of these tests because I really thought something else was going on. But it was me. Because I didn't know how to relax. I didn't know how to relax. My body thought it was wrong to do so.
Yeah. And our body tells us when it's time to relax. Our body gives us those signs, but we're so conditioned to keep going that we're not attuned to ourselves. And as a lack of us not being attuned to ourselves, sometimes our body forces us to implement self-care.
Oh, yes.
Because we didn't listen to the messages that our body was sending us.
It'll sit you down. Yes, it will. Nico just shared a comment, and Nico, I'm with you. Nico shares, it took me a while to understand that no is a complete sentence. Let me tell you, I still struggle with it, but I'm a lot better with it now than I once was. I mean, I would really feel badly if I had to tell someone no, that I couldn't. It was just a whole mental thing. Like, I have to be able to help. I have to be able to do something. But no, if you can't, you can't.
And if you can't, but you maybe still want to, it's okay to ask for help. That's another thing that we forget. It's okay to reach out to others for help. We don't have to do it alone. And when we try to do everything alone, we get stressed out.
Yes,
and then if we're not implementing self-care, we're trying to do everything alone, we're stressed out. Now our body begins to react to that because we're not either nurturing ourselves the way we should be nurturing. We're not feeding ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. And so now we're burnt out, we're overwhelmed. So it's okay to ask for help.
It sure is. Well, I didn't know how to do that either, Dr. Z. And that sounds crazy. That sounds so, as I say it sounds so crazy, but that was my truth. I did not know how to ask for, well, again, I am a work in progress because I still struggle with asking for help. Sometimes I do. If I'm being honest, which I am, I do. I still struggle with it, but 8 times out of 10 now, I will ask for help. I will ask for help. Family, listen. You hear me telling all my secrets, as I always do, But that's because I believe that communication is helpful and that it is key, and that something from one person's story could maybe ignite, something in the journey of another person. So I'm encouraging you to join the conversation. And you can do that by commenting on our socials, or you can call us, and you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We're talking with Dr. Z because it's Thursday. That's with a Z. Thursday. Thank you, Nico. Thursdays with Dr. Z. And we're talking about stress. We're talking about managing stress. We're talking about why it's so important to take care of our mental health as well as our physical health. Why that's so important. And because it's National Wellness Month, I mean, when is the best time? When is the better time to talk about all of these things? So Dr. Z is here to help us through these things, to answer any questions you may have. So feel free. So I'm going to keep asking questions in the meantime until our family members share theirs. So we were talking about turning off the cell phone, which is something I've learned to do. And when you said, wait, I almost laughed when you said putting it in another room, because let me tell you, I do that unintentionally. I'm the person that I don't know where my phone is. If I'm at home, I don't know where it is half the time. I always say, where did I put it? Let me tell you something. Thank you, God, for the person that invented that little feature on your little Apple Watch where it'll ping your phone. I am so grateful to that person, because I never know when I'm at home now, because once upon a time, it was always attached to me like an appendage. Now, I never know where it is. So I always have to ping it.
Right.
Where is my phone? When I need it? But since we were talking about that, and it made me chuckle, because I was thinking, well, now that one I don't have an issue with, because I don't know where it is half the time. But
You just do it naturally.
I know, yeah. Where is it? It's somewhere in here. But what would you say are some good practices that we can do to improve our wellness, in addition to, of course, shutting down the phone?
Stick to a plan too, right? Like, come up with a plan for our day. A lot of times stress comes because we allow a lot of outside things to come in and don't have a plan. One of the things that I try to do weekly is write out my week. It's not to say you won't have things that will come into your life that will alter your plan. But if you have an overall agenda of what is it that you're hoping to get done within a week or within a day, that gives you a feeling of accomplishment at the end of your day, because you can look back and say, okay, woo, I could take a deep breath. I got a lot done. And so sometimes it's really important when we talk about stress, taking it out of our head, putting it down on paper, and then checking off the boxes. Okay, I did. There was 5 things in my day, and I actually did 4. It's only 1 left. It's okay. I have tomorrow to do the next thing. With that, another thing that people struggle with that causes anxiety and stress is not staying in the moment. Embrace the moment. A lot of times we're thinking about the next task ahead, the next thing ahead, and all the things that we need to get done within a week or within a time frame, that we forget the importance of just embracing the moment. And so just being able to stay in the moment is also really pivotal to helping us manage stress.
Think about managing stress. Heavens to Murgatroyd. But you're right about that. I can't even deny that. I can identify with that, staying in the moment. And it makes it more enjoyable as well. You enjoy the time that you're having. That's no matter what you're doing. Because I know it's when you said that, I was thinking, yeah, well, but if I'm sitting and I'm soaking my feet, then I need to be present in that moment and not allowing myself to drift off to think about what I have to do after I'm done, or because you don't really fully get the effect of soaking your feet. Like soaking your feet, that's a release of stress. That's allowing you, but we tend to continue welcoming it while we call ourselves releasing stress.
And then
So
when we
that
think
that
about it, even if as women, if we're getting, or men or whoever, when we're getting pedicures or we're getting manicures, we're on our phones, we are talking. That's a moment. And a lot of times people think self-care is this big, grandiose thing, but it can be just small, meaningful moments where we allow ourselves to tap out temporarily from our reality and just to focus, just to recenter ourselves, just to find the inner strength that we need to go forward. And so embracing the moment. And I'm sure if we really think about just moments where we can just sit still, a lot of times our brain is, as you just said, Carol, is going on thinking about all the other things, responding to texts, checking emails, balancing our checkbooks, whatever is going on, we're doing something. We have to learn to stay in the moment as well when we're talking about managing stress.
That is so true. Ooh. Family, so it's time for us to take a short break, but stay with us because it's Thursdays with Dr. Z, and we have more to talk about when we come back. Stay with us.
The Power of the Vote, every first Sunday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on WURD, hosted by attorney Keir Bradford Gray, former President Judge Thomasine Tynes, and consultant Wanda Unique Davis. When we vote, we are participants in the outcome of our future.
Need a minute? Take a breath and breathe in positivity. Here are words of joy and empowerment from WURD Radio.
Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes time. But vision with action can change the world. These are the words of Joel Arthur Barker, and my prayer and hope for Philadelphia, a city I was born in, educated, lived, and work in, will collectively come together to help its citizens by bringing economic prosperity to those in need, create safe and affordable housing for the disenfranchised, and create safe and organic spaces for adults and children to grow. I am Kimberly Lloyd.
This joy and empowerment vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
WURD Radio is the only African-American owned and operated talk radio station in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and one of only 3 remaining in the country. In the past 20 years, WURD has evolved into a multimedia, multi-platform communications company that reaches deeply into the Black community through radio, events, digital, and social media. It is considered the go-to channel to engage, interact, and connect with Philadelphia's Black community. Our brand is built on the personal legacy of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Dr. Lomax was a brilliant physician who established medical centers in underserved neighborhoods throughout Philadelphia to provide high-quality healthcare to Black and Brown communities for over 30 years. One of his most ambitious acquisitions was when he purchased WURD Radio. He understood the power of ownership and the power of independent media. Through WURD, he wanted to ensure that Philadelphia's Black community had the ability to speak and be heard in their own voice. We are celebrating 20 years of Black excellence. We are celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
This vignette was brought to you by Comcast, United Way, and Bank of America.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, progressive Black talk media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We're talking with Dr. ZENIDA Driver because it's Thursday. And that's what we do on Thursdays in the 8 o'clock hour. It is Thursdays with Dr. Z. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we're talking about stress, okay? Stress. So before the break, you were expanding and sharing with us, and I remember saying to you how stress presented itself for me, where I was having that pain in my chest, and I had no clue what was going on with my life. What are some other ways in which stress presents itself or shows up?
That's a great question, Carol. When we talk about it just from a physical standpoint or a body standpoint, stress can lead to depression. It can lead to obesity. It can lead to weight loss. It can lead to heart disease. I saw someone write in the comments, stress can kill you. It absolutely can kill you. It can lead to high blood pressure. Stress causes us to not be able to focus and memory loss. And so we have to really, again, kind of like we were speaking about earlier, really tap into ourselves to say, what is my body telling me? Am I going to the hospital? Because a lot of times you'll have people who experience the same thing you experience, Carol. They'll go to the hospital, they'll think something's really wrong, but it's really nothing wrong. It's really just their body telling them it's time to slow down. It's time to take a break. Hopefully that is a sign, right? To let us know we don't want something to be wrong. We don't want high blood pressure. We don't want heart disease. And so now that's just the trigger warning, I would say, that the body is telling us. But if we're not careful, it can lead to those bigger medical conditions and concerns.
Yeah, my body was surely telling me. It will do that. I want to take a moment to go to our socials to acknowledge our family members that are checking in. Ebby Cummings shares power in the moment. And Ebby, I know to what you are referring. And that's when Dr. Z was talking about being in the moment, just not allowing that stress to overcome when you're trying to decompress and shut down and all that good stuff. I'm still working on that, Abby. I'm still working on that. But I would like to believe we're all a work in progress. Miss Rosalind shares that stress will kill you. And it sure will. It sure will. She also shares, thank you, Miss Rosalind. Oh, she shares that, Caroline, you are blessed and highly favored. Yes, ma'am. Yes, amen to that. Amen. We ask God why he takes those members. God said because they were ready. Yes, indeed. But the key is for us to allow God to do his work and know that he is in control of the next stage of our lives. That is the absolute truth. I trust God completely, wholeheartedly. I don't doubt. I don't ask any questions. I know the power of God. I know God. First of all, I know I have a relationship, a great relationship. We have a great relationship. I told y'all I'm the gnat at his cookout. Listen, I tell everybody that. I want him, when I get up there, I want him to see me at least 10 miles away. You hear me? And say, hold on, my baby's coming. Hold on, watch out now. Hold on. That's what I want. I want him to see me so far back, okay, that everybody else says, well, wait a minute now. What makes her so special? That's how I'm trying to live my life. That's how I'm trying to represent him. So, and I know I was hurt, but I understand, I overstand. We are all on borrowed time. As much as I love my papi and my mom and my fur babies, I overstand. And I do. But it didn't make it any easier, to deal with. So, yes, Ms. Rosalind, thank you so much for sharing that. Alicia Martin is checking in and she shares, good evening, Carol and Dr. Z. What an awesome topic. Yes, Henry Purifoy shares, praise him. Yes, indeed. All day, every day. Do you hear me? You won't get anything else from me. All day, every day. Yes, I do. I do praise God all day, every day. And Miss Wanda Calhoun is sharing, how beautiful. of the compliment that Miss Roslyn shared. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Ebby is sharing. I love learning. Thank you, Carol and Dr. Z. I know, isn't it nice? I love learning too. Miss Roslyn did share with us. Oh my goodness, Miss Roslyn, God bless you. She shares, losing my daughter's father at the age of 13, going on 14. I was 4 months pregnant. It's been 50 years and I'm finally able to talk about it, but God kept me. And that's not including all the losses that I watched die and had to bury in the last 50 years. God has kept me. It was a hard journey, but God has kept me. And I remember put my mom's first phone, and I believe I was 17. She would just let it ring. She would just let it ring. She said if they want her, they can ring the bell or knock on the door. And she didn't want to answer. She didn't answer. Bring back the good old days. Let me tell you something, Miss Roslyn. Some days it is like that. Some days you don't have the bandwidth. I've had moments like that where I just didn't have the bandwidth to pick up the telephone. And in those moments I was just so overwhelmed and overcome with whatever I was dealing with in that moment that I had to say, okay, not right now. Not right now. And you do have to accept that, and that's something we all, I think, should get into practice of doing, because here we are. We live in this world now where everything is so fast. And, it can be stressful. Just the simplest thing can be so stressful. And then here we are knocking on Dr. Z's door.
And I'm going to open it and listen. I think, and as you say that, Carol, I think about things that we don't pay attention to, right? Sometimes we don't even realize how worried we feel on a day-to-day basis. We don't realize how angry we can become. We don't realize how irritable we are, how depressed or feeling sad, or just we're not able to focus on tasks. And so I think sometimes that implementing some regimens allow us, again, to really check in with ourselves and say, what am I feeling right now? What's happening? And most importantly, why? Why is this happening? Or am I able to pinpoint some aspect of my life that's causing me to feel stressed out and overwhelmed, and make meaning of that and determine, do I need to change, alleviate, say no, ask for help? I need to slow down enough to be able to think about that.
How about that? That's a good point. That's a great point, actually. Family, I'm going to take a moment to go to our phone lines. I believe we have a family member waiting to talk with us. Hello. Thank you for joining the conversation. Uh-oh. Hello. Are you there by any chance?
Yes, Carol, can you hear me?
Yeah. Is this Miss Lola?
Yes, it is, Carol. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Hi, Miss Lola.
Hi to you and your guests. I have been listening. I was on the train and then I had got off, and then I just have some time to call in. And before I start, I wanted to say I want to thank Kayla for all her great service to WURD, being answering the phone, being a great producer, being just a wonderful person, her pleasant voice. And also when she had her show, and she just is a really great person in her gospel show. So I wish her all the luck and all the success in her future endeavors. So I wanted to say that.
I love that. I love that.
Yes, and so then I wanted to go on to that. Yeah, this topic, what you're talking about, is so important because self-care and mental health go hand in hand. And I would always tell my boys, my husband, I would say, if mom's not happy, nobody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't mean it as a threat, but I just meant it as, don't try to, with him, like, don't try to overload me with everything and then think that I'm going to be okay, because I have to be able to recharge. You have so much on you, as this, not even as a woman, but as a mother, but even if you don't have children, but if you have children, there's a lot on us and a lot that is expected from us at home and in the workplace. And then if you have social obligations and if you're trying to be an activist and doing all this stuff, you're pulled in so many places. So at some point, your body will shut down and tell you, hey, if you're not going to listen to me when I'm trying to talk to you with these little hints here and there that your body does give you, I'm going to shut you down. And so I always take time to like recharge, do some things for myself, not just like a mani or pedi. I'm talking about like full days where I want to do something, have, go to the spas. I like the Four Seasons, and they have this infinity pool, like do stuff like that. And then sometimes you can lay in the bed and then just get your mind right. But if you have kids running around, sometimes that's when you have to leave the house when they were younger. And and then also having a relationship with a good therapist. And when I know that sometimes it's like really hard for people, because I see some people struggling and they don't have the insurance to get good therapy. And I was telling them, like, you can go, give them numbers, and then they have some free mental health. And sometimes therapists go on sliding scales, because you have to be able to talk to someone who's neutral and who is not in your life and can listen and maybe give you some really good advice. But then also some people do need a little bit of a prescription meds to make it through. And so sometimes you need these things in your life. And so I think everything is about balance. And I heard you, Carol, saying you just do everything for everybody. But you have to learn the word no, because what will happen in life is you'll be extending yourself, giving everything to everybody. And I don't think that they do it on purpose, but then people overuse, and then they expect it from you. You don't really have you don't have it to give, and you don't have that juice in your body to give. But people say, well, Carol, she did it before, she'll do it now. She always do everything. But at this time, you're mentally not there, but you don't want to say it. So sometimes you just have to say, even if you don't, not going nowhere, say, you know what, I got a doctor's appointment. No, the doctor's appointment is your bed. And so you don't have to tell people that you don't have one, but you have to be able to put yourself first sometimes, because everybody else is just going to keep pulling and pulling. And I've learned that with the one that people go to, and then at some point your body can't take it, and then sometimes your mind can't take it, and you just gotta de-stress. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've worked with this lady. She was a beautiful woman, and one week she was fine, and then the next week when we were looking for her, she died of an aneurysm.
Oh my Lord!
We couldn't believe it. I'm talking about healthy, beautiful, and I was like, well, what happened? And I know, like, during the week, when you work with people, you get to know them. And she would always say, I'm so stressed. She had 2 children. I'm so tired. I'm this, I'm that. I was telling her, like, go to vacation, go to the spa. Well, I can, and I got to do this, I got to do that. And Carol, I swear to you, and doctor, the next week she passed of an aneurysm. And so I just always, after that, before that, I would try to do stuff, but after that, I was intentional. Like, I cannot wear myself down to the point that I just fall out. Like, she passed out, and then they rushed to the hospital, and she had passed of an aneurysm. And so we got to take care of ourselves. We got to pray. We got to be spiritually filled. We got to be mentally filled, and we got to have some self-care and fill it up. And then you can go out there and give this stuff to people. You can be happy. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you are mentally stressed and drained, like the doctor said, you can really see that on people. And then they dragging and dragging. They're not even giving you their best. They just there because they feel obligated, but their body is not reacting because they're so stressed out. So you do the best for yourself, and you can be the best for yourself and be the best for other people. That's what I feel.
Well, I could not have said it better, Miss Lola. I could not have said it better. You are so right. And I did learn, I learned a very big lesson. You are absolutely right. When I needed myself, I needed right after, it was right after my mother passed. And I'll share this. Like I said, my father passed in 2014. My fur baby of 14 years passed in 2016. And then my mother passed in 2018.
Oh my God.
No, but no. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But my mother was my rock. So she was helping me as I was grieving from the other losses and the detachment. So when I lost her, I was done. I will share with you 2019. I don't remember at all. After her service, the last thing I remember about 2019 was January 9th, 2019, which was the day of her service. I don't remember anything else.
Something with you before I hang up?
Sure.
My mother passed in 2017 of September, and I was in a daze. Like you just said, I can really attest to what you're saying. I do not remember the rest of that year until the following year. I had to take off
That was me.
a long time of work. I couldn't. It was like an out of body experience. Like my body was here, but I was looking at somebody else. My aunts and stuff had to come from down south to help me with the boys and their dad. So I know what you're saying. That
Yes.
is like a pain that you can never ever. I can't even go to a funeral
Ever.
today. If somebody has a funeral who's close to me, I'll send flowers and I'll meet them at the house. I say I can't go because I'll react to the loss.
Right. You relive your own trauma. Yes.
Right.
Oh, Miss Lola. Yes.
Away from other people. So I just don't go. I send a lot of flowers and say, listen, if you need me later, I'll be there.
You're there,
Sarah,
yeah.
I'm telling you, I know I lost my mom and she was only 65 and it was devastating. And it took me, it's 2023. So it took me about 4 years to be in my body again and enjoy life and get back to, I'm saying I was still doing stuff, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
to really feel the joy and have memories with her with a smile. So
Yeah.
Carol,
Oh, that's why I say I have a happy inside my hurt.
want people to be in. It's not a family that you want people to be in. It's something devastating. But I know exactly what you're feeling. So I'll let you know if somebody else wants to call in.
Thank you, Miss Lola. Thank you so much. I say that I have a happy inside my hurt. That's what I say. That's how I say it because I do, because of the happy moments the happy memories that I have of spending with both of my parents and being able, just having them as I did. But what I wanted to share before we go to commercial break is that after that time, two friends of mine in my life had asked me to do something for them. And it was something that I'd done for them in the past. And they were very upset with me because I said, I don't have it. I need me right now. They were both very, very upset with me. They were so upset with me. And so I when you were saying that, Miss Lola, I could identify, I could relate. And the memories are just so vivid because it feels like it just happened. But I remember the conversation saying, I don't have, and I really didn't. I had nothing. But what I did have, I needed from myself. Family, stay with us because we're going to take just a short break, but we'll be right back.
Don't miss the 2023 Black Star Film Festival, the world's premier celebration of Black, Brown, and Indigenous film and visual art. From August 2nd through the 6th, Black Star will feature over 90 films from around the world, panels with leading creatives of color, parties, and more. Attend in person in Philly along Broad Street or watch online. Tickets and passes are now on sale. Access card holders are eligible for discounts. Learn more at blackstarfest.org/festival. Summer is here, and so is WURD's annual Summer of Freedom Tour. WURD Radio is proud to partner with Philadelphia Parks and Recreation and the Center for Families and Relationships for a summer of fun, freedom, and healthy communities. Join us in Germantown, Overbrook, North Philly, and Southwest Philly, where Tanya Pendleton will broadcast live each Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Discover all that our recreation centers have to offer. Meet with mental health specialists who will provide support to children impacted by gun violence. Join WURD's community partners for hands-on outdoor activities and hear live performances from local artists. Win tickets and prizes and stand with WURD by joining or renewing your 4WURD membership on site. Be sure to join us on August 10th at 8th and Diamond Playground in North Philadelphia, 800 Diamond Street. Summer of Freedom is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and the Energy Co-op.
Why is WURD important to the community?
It's important that there's someone from the community that's authentically talking about the problems and all the steps that need to be taken to get to a better place.
And it gives them a platform and an opportunity to share their expertise and love of the culture.
And it's critically important that people have an opportunity to speak, and it's even more important that people have an opportunity to be heard.
WURD is the community and of the community.
WURD serves as the voice for the community.
It gives a sense of connectedness among people who aren't necessarily in front of each other physically, but they feel and connect with each other over the air.
So glad they're coming to Mantua.
It's in the name. WURD
is the word. Word gets the word out to the community. Word connects the community. Word empowers the community. Word embraces the community.
We are 20 years strong, giving voice to the community, and without the community, there will be no word. We are one and the same, and it is not a game. WURD.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, progressive Black Talk media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black Talk media.
I think I know what love is.
Family, hello there. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, progressive Black Talk media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We've been talking about stress. We've been talking about mental health, our mental health. We've been talking about managing wellness overall, and ways to do so, and ways to combat stress, quite honestly, and to navigate it. You know, it's Thursday, so you know what that means? It's Thursdays with a Z, because we have our very own Dr. ZENIDA Driver joining us, as she does in the 8 o'clock hour on Thursdays. Some of our family members have checked in. Henry Purifoy shares what happens to us. It's not just for us, but it's for others, so we can let them know it will be all right. I do happen to agree. I'd say it all the time. We're in this together, y'all. And I mean it when I say it. You are absolutely right, Henry. You are so right. And I might add that Henry's mother was an other mother to me. I should share that. I miss her dearly, too. I miss her dearly. She was such a sweet soul. Just a little angel here. Malcolm White shares, yes, stress is real. He believes it gave him cancer. He's now in remission 7 years. Praise God. He was always angry dealing with workplace drama. And now he shares that now that he's out of the workplace on disability, he's at peace, even though he doesn't have as much money. He says health is everything. Well, Malcolm, they say health is wealth. That's what I know to be true too. Health definitely is wealth, minus the deadlines or productivity numbers for nasty, disrespectful supervisors. I know that's right. Listen, let it out, Malcolm, let it out. And Miss Wanda Calhoun, she shares the body keeps score. Yes, it absolutely does. It does. The body does keep score, and it will let you know. It will let you know, okay, as mine did when it was telling me that I needed to sit down and stare at a wall. That's what it told me to do. And guess what? That's what I did. And now I'm the better for it. Pastor is sharing 3 statements can help us handle stress. And they are live, love, laugh. You are so right, Pastor. You are so right about that. You know, listen, I just want us all to try to be easier. You know, I know we're all dealing with a lot. I know we all have so much on our plates. And I know we all have a lot of innate trauma, as we've talked about in the past, you know, from pent frustration, innate trauma from centuries of old. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot going on. But I do believe we could help each other. I really do. I really believe we could help each other through all of this. If we were more patient with one another, if we were more kind to one another, if we were just a little more understanding with one another, you know, and I'm talking about me too. I am in no way dictating, judging, or anything like that, you know, because I'm trying to be easy with myself too. So as I'm trying to be easy with me, I'm trying to be easy with everybody else. Dr. Z, I just want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you again next Thursday. We just can't wait, because we love it when you're here with us. Family. You know what time it is. Family, it's family. To God be the glory. Yes. I just want to say again, thank you so much to Miss Kayla. Miss Kayla, thank you for everything that you do, everything that you are, everything that you've brought. And I know you're not leaving the station. I know that, but you will no longer be here with us on Love and Life. And because of that, I'm just finding it necessary to just give you some love here, just to show you some love here, because we love you and we want you to take that with you. But we'll still be able to see you and hear you on Sundays. And for that, we are grateful. But as we wrap up tonight's episode, I personally extend my utmost gratitude to each and every one of you as you continue to support Love and Life. I can't thank you enough. To everyone who contributed to the conversation, thank you to all of the callers who contributed as well. Special thanks to our guests, both TUERA Holland and Dr. Z, as always. Additional special thanks to the entire WURD family, especially you, Ms. Kayla J, and to Niall Jax. Family, I'm going to say it because I always do and because I mean it with every fiber of my being. We are all in this together. You hear me? We are all in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. I love you, but God loves you so much more. You have a great rest of your night, and you be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for another edition of Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, family. I love you.
What a beautiful day. All that I've got